Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Welcome to the video. Around about a year ago I posted a video called Pure Racing, and this race reminds me very much of that race I posted back then, namely because it was around Watkins Glen and I was driving the Noble M600, as you can see here. So many similarities between that old video and this one. We're going to go for an entire race, so I'm not going to cut any points out. I'm going to go through the entire thing as we come down the back straight here at Watkins Glen, not running the chicane, and we are going to take the lead, it looks like, as we go into the outer loop corner. That's ZA and going a little bit wide in the Porsche, so I'm through into the lead, which is obviously a very good start. Then we have GTR Corsair, our teammate, or one of our teammates behind us, Z going down into third place. Now the Noble M600 is a top car for S-Class, tuned by none other than JSR Lee Campbell, obviously. I mean, it's kind of a surprise if I'm using a car not tuned by him, especially in S-Class. So we can see another Noble here behind us, GTR Corsa. The Noble seems to be a very popular choice around this circuit. It has a good blend of power and high speed handling capability, which is what mostly this kind of track is built up of. Lots of fast sweeping bends and straights. So last couple of corners left of the circuit, it's fast, well, sweeping corners as I was saying. So two 90-degree corners with banking as well, kind of helps you round. Got to hook up with that apex on the inside there of the final turn. You can run a little bit wide on the exit. Now looking behind, because we can see there JSR Rossi coming through into second place. That is quite an ominous sign. Once you know that guy's coming through, it's very hard to stop him. One of the fastest drivers who you'll ever see in hoppers regularly. There aren't many top drivers such as him who will go into the hoppers. So if you come across him, you're racing against one of the best drivers in the game, one of the fastest guys there is. Coming down the back straight, we can see the power of the Aston Martin Zagato. I'm going to try and do him around the outside, but that isn't going to end nicely for me. I think you can see there that the Noble does have decent handling around the outside of the Aston, but the Aston is just so good in a straight line, it's going to be very hard to keep up with him. Around the corners I can match that car, but once Rossi gets his right foot down on any of the straights, it's game over and good night, he's gone. We can see that here. So I'm about 50 feet behind as we enter this straight here, going into turn 8, and then at the end of the straight is about 150 feet. So it's gaining about 100 feet in not a very long amount of time. So we can kind of go to the conclusion here that he is going to drive away with this one. It's unlikely he makes a mistake. But we have a race with our hands behind us. We have our teammate GTR Corsa still on our tail, so he's in the Noble as well, which would mean we're fairly balanced in terms of pace, having the same car, I think the same tune as well. If not, well, the car is still the same car, so the tune capabilities are still roughly the same. Over the line then, that's a third of the race done. We're on to lap number 3, 4 more left to do. Hitting the apex nicely on the inside. You can run a little bit over the yellow line there and it's still clean, technically. You can actually go, as long as you have 2 wheels on that curb, it's still a clean lap. Through the S's, carrying a nice amount of speed there. I think I gained slightly on Rossi, but it's not really much of a case to make there because he is just going to drive away with this one. We can see behind, so we have GTR Devise into 4th place now, and Corsa still in 3rd. So when you got this kind of situation here, actually I'm looking behind there, you can see there that they are battling slightly. When you get this breath of fresh air, when you have a bit of space behind you with no direct pressure, you might as well start thinking about just hitting your braking points and try to build that gap, because while they're battling, they're going to be slowing each other down. It gives you a chance to get away a little bit, even if you are a little bit slower. It does give you that little bit chance to get away. So Corsa seems to have rebuffed that attack from Devise. Now we can focus on trying to catch up with me once again. and then through the last couple of corners. This one's a very tricky one. I think you have to carry the speed in on the brakes. I go a little bit deep actually, but I can kind of pivot mid-turn and come back for a late apex, trying to avoid the million tyres that some noob has sprayed onto the circuit. That's something that I'd like to see gone in Forza 7 if I'm honest. All these tyres that come onto the track, it kind of makes it more authentic, I guess. Actually no, it doesn't. I guess if someone's going to crash into the tyres, yeah, they're going to splash around everywhere, but in real racing they don't really tend to go onto the circuit. Also it kind of just, it's very annoying when you tap the tyres and they slow you down. I would like something like iRacing where the tyres, it can be hit but they don't slow you down at all. I wouldn't mind that, that would be a bit better. So then, lap number 4, we've still got that gap to Corsair, trying to build a certain level of consistency here. The race is 6 laps, we're a little bit longer than your standard hopper race. And then down the back straight, we're looking for the end of the tyre wall on the left hand side. There it is. That is a good braking point. Just trying to trail brake, carry the speed into the corner so you're braking and turning in at the same time, and when you do that you can really carry quite a lot of speed into the turn. Do it on this turn as well, looking for a late apex after the shadow that goes over the entire track, then carry it out wide onto the curb, back over to the left hand side, braking I think roughly between the 200 and 100, so around about 150. This corner is very tough. The car always seems to want to understeer and oversteer at the same time. You have to be very, very patient there. I've just spotted in 4th place we have Jeweler DT, the fastest man in Greece, coming through in his Aston Zagato. We know that that car is an absolute rocket ship when it gets going in a straight line, so you can expect to meet him, let's say, in a couple of laps time. So sometimes when you're comfortable in your position it might not seem worth setting some decent laps, but anything you do earlier in the race, anytime you save earlier on in a race, might help you out at the end. So if someone's catching up, which Jeweler DT seems to be doing back there, any seconds or half a second I gained on lap 2 or whatever might just give me that gap that I need later on in the race. We'll have to see about that one. Running a little bit wide there actually, I think that was dirty, over the curb and beyond onto the tarmac, through the S's. I love this this sequence of turns. When you've got a car that works, it really does flow very nicely. You carry the speed very quickly onto the straight, over 170 miles an hour already, and we're looking behind there. The gap has opened up, but Jeweler DT is now into 3rd place, so we can't really rest too much here because he is going to start reeling us in, and I think by the last lap here he's going to get very close. Braking on the drain as we enter turn number 9 here, or sorry, turn number 6, and then on the exit of 6 moving over to the left hand side. The toe corner I think is definitely one of the hardest. You have to be very patient, wait for that throttle at the very end. The car will want to oversteer on the exit, and we're out nicely. Having a quick check there at that split, we are 0.004 quicker than our previous best, so decent consistency being shown here. Sometimes it's better to be consistent rather than take the risks and make more mistakes. Over the course of a whole race you have to balance out risk and reward, so it's just another way of thinking about a race actually. Sometimes it's best to think about getting to the finish line as quick as possible rather than setting the quickest laps, if that makes sense, because if you start trying to set blistering lap times you're going to make more mistakes, and then overall your race time will be longer. So it's not always the best idea to try and set blistering lap times by taking all the risks. But we have 1 lap left to go here, and we're not going to be worrying about lap times here because we do have Jeweler DT within proximity arrow range. As you can see there, as we went through turn 1, he just popped up on the screen there for a split second. I'm going to carry the speed through here as much as possible to give me a big gap down the back straight, and hopefully it'll be enough that he won't have a shot into turn number 5 at the end here. So coming down, I'm looking behind. He is reeling me in actually. Is he going to go for the move? No, he plays it quite safe, although put off slightly. I go a little bit deep. It's going to give him a chance around the inside actually. We're going to be side by side here as we enter turn number 6. I'm on the inside. I do have the priority here, but then we have another straight just up coming here. Is he going to have a chance? Yes he is. but then I still just about have the inside, force him wide, but then we have a bit of a problem here because we have an even longer straight coming up. That's going to give him the advantage. I think about moving across. It was a little bit late though, so he's going to be able to get into second place. I'm down to third. I'm going to try to hang it around the outside. I go a little bit deep. Can I get the run into turn 9? Not quite. He just about gets enough momentum out of turn 8 to get clearly ahead. And with 2 corners left to go, can I get away past Julia DT? I know that I've got the handling capability over him. It's just a matter if he makes a mistake or not. Will he run into the wall, for example, on the exit of turn 11, the final turn? I'm trying to carry more speed through than him. But in the end, he actually takes it perfectly and I actually grazed the wall. So as we cross the line there, Julia DT taking a well-deserved second. And I come through into third place. GSL Rossi winning by nearly 10 seconds there in his Zagato. So it shows you how good that car is. And of course the driver. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this race. I thought I'd bring you just a straight up commentary of a straight up entire race. So something I haven't done in quite a while. But I hope you enjoyed it. So let me know your thoughts on the race. Do subscribe if you'd like to see more of the same. The tune is by JSI Lee Campbell, of course. It's the Noble M600, definitely a car worth checking out in S-Class. So do hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.